Weapons control, charge batteries, target engines.
Weapons charged. Getting a lock, Captain. What?
Fire!
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur, and I am back with another review for you. I'm in a new place, so I got some new doors here for you, so hopefully you like them. If not, please do tell me. And with that being said, yeah, let's get into it. So this week, I watched a movie called Starship Rising, and this 2014 film was directed by Neil Johnson and stars Darren Jacobs, Claudia Wells, and Brooke Lewis-Bellis, among others, of course. The story of this film takes place far in the future when humanity has gone across the whole galaxy, and there are kind of two superpowers in this world where they are, always fighting each other. And it's about this one guy, he kind of takes over this ship and then tries to get the two sides to stop fighting. And of course, there's a little bit of a revolution in there and whatnot, but what will happen? Well, you have to watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this movie. So, what works? Well, with this movie, it is kind of like this space opera movie. So they have lots of stuff going on, lots of kind of different power players and different, civilizations going on. And all of that's interesting to think about when they show it to you. They have these two superpowers, like I said. And one is like this authoritarian kind of superpower. The other one's like a religious movement. And so that's kind of interesting to see, the contrast between those two. And there's a few other things as well, biomechanics, and they throw in just so many different ideas with this one. And so all of it, when it's presented to you, is very interesting to see, very cool to think about and whatnot. So that's definitely good for sure. In addition, I thought the acting was okay. It is all enthusiastic. It's not like over the top or anything, but you can tell that they're really trying to do their best with this, B movie of a script. And I'll come to that too. That has its own problems. But they're definitely working the best that they can. I think some of their acting kind of comes off as, I want to say, sarcastic, where they know how it's going to turn out in the end, right? So they're kind of like winking and nodding at the camera a little bit. And that just, I don't know, it helps you get through it and makes you interested in these characters. So that's pretty good. Furthermore, the CGI definitely works in this one. It's pretty well edited as well, where everything is edited so that you can easily tell what part of the space battle they are in and who's shooting at who. And all of that definitely works. I think also with this one, it's mostly like done on a green screen, and that also works as well. It is a little bit kind of dark, but it is what it is, right? So all of kind of that technical aspect on that side definitely is pretty good. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this film. Well, there's no real way around it, but this script is terrible, and I kind of hate saying that. I don't really want to say that about everything. This does have some good ideas. It's like a little bit cheesy. But for the most part, like the script, there's just so many things wrong with it. It's overly complicated, in my opinion. It has scenes that add nothing to the story. It's very kind of strange that way. Like they'll have a scene where, like this woman, like you barely know this woman, and she's talking to her son, and she's just like, "Oh, like you're the product of this like sex crime from your uncle," and you're just like, why would that even be included in this one? It adds nothing to the script. In addition, there's some things that just happen, like characters will just say things just like this.
Trying to go superluminal.
Not at this altitude.
We're headed for the eye of the storm. Perfect. Are you mad? Yes, I am.
And then there's scenes where like are just out of character for people, just like this one.
I don't feel anything.
And so there are quite a few problems with the script, in my opinion. It's overly complicated. I think it's probably going to be my biggest critique of it. But it is entertaining enough if you, enjoy kind of that space opera aspect. You can try to put all the different pieces together, even if they don't fit perfectly. So, yeah, there are definitely some issues there. Other than that, I think with the characters, they lack depth, I'll say. They're all kind of very one note. I think the actors, again, do a good job kind of bringing them to life. But at the same time, they are very one note. They're very straightforward. And you never really learn kind of their motivations for anything, actually. And when you do, like, their motivations, like, flip on a dime. And it's just all very odd that way. So it's all definitely, I think, with the script, and when it comes down to it, it could be more well written. I think the director was also the writer, but he does a good job at directing, I'll say that. It's just how it all kind of turns out. He is definitely trying for a space opera. It just doesn't come across as kind of that, that grandiose scale or anything like that they're really trying. So yeah, I don't know. It's mildly interesting that way, but I don't think it's for, a regular audience. What else can I say? Well, with this movie, I think it's part one of two movies. So there is like a sequel called, looked it up, Starship Apocalypse, I want to say. But as it stands, it has like a quasi conclusion at the end, which I think kind of works. It definitely works on some aspects, but it is kind of confusing, I would say, if you don't know that it's part one of two. I did try to find the other half, but I couldn't find it even with my VPN on, so, or at least not easily. So I will try looking for that one, but hey, it is what it is. So if you're just looking for like, somewhat of an interesting story, this might be for you. So who would I recommend this movie for? Well, if you like bad sci-fi, then this is probably going to be right up your alley. I don't think it's for like a mainstream audience at all. So if you do kind of like that bad sci-fi with a little bit of cheese in there, then yeah, totally check this one out. As for a rating, well, I thought this was mildly interesting, especially for someone like me. So I'm going to give it the 3.4. And I think that's kind of like double what it has on IMDb, but hey, it is what it is. So with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.